Tesla continues to dominate EV sales in the US, but the question has always been who will come in at number 2, the clear runner-up, the front-runner in the second place parade, if you will, and I hope you will because it's a lot of fun to think about. For a long time we thought it would be Ford, surely, or GM, because Mary led and it matters. But it turns out it may not be, but someone from another country entirely. Let's figure out who it is. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. I am joined, as I so often am, by my good friend Herbert, who giggles like a schoolgirl when I do my intros.
Here he goes.
because I have fun doing them.
You're good.
I have fun with them. I have to. If I don't have
Yeah.
fun, it starts to feel like a job.
Yeah.
So this is interesting to me. I've noticed this pattern emerging. Kia EV sales surged to a new record in the US with affordable long-range models. Do you know anyone who has a Kia?
I don't.
I don't either. I have a friend who had a Kia Soul, which he loved, but it was more of a compliance car. These are the serious ones, so we'll have to do some digging. I'll see if I can reach out to Kia and get an overnight test drive or something. The EV sales has doubled for the first half of the year. After selling 5,000 for the third straight month, Kia looks to keep momentum. So they're only at 15,000 for the quarter. So they're still behind GM, but they are looking like they will, 30,000 for the first half of the year. But there's some things coming up that are going to make it a little different and a little better. We can start with EV3 gets over 10,000 reservations in the first 3 weeks. This is their new offering. Let's make this a little bigger. In the wake of so many pessimistic news pieces, Kia comes along with its EV3 and asks, what's slowdown? So it's their entry-level vehicle with 347 miles of WLTP range. That's not the real range, of course. WLTP is one of the more charitable range estimates, standards. People want affordable cars and not just the $50,000 ones. And we've seen the EX30, which only sold 11,000 units in May globally, Volvo EX30, made in China. So here's what the EV3 looks like. That doesn't look like an entry-level car to me. I think it looks pretty sharp.
That's great.
Weird, of course, but styling is one of those where you can make your own decision from the curb. You don't need an analyst. But at 30 grand, that's a compelling offer. What do you think of this car?
Yeah, no, first of all, Kia the parent company is Hyundai. Hyundai bought Kia, and Kia is just knocking it out of the park. They're actually, I think I just saw here that their market values surpassed Hyundai. But both Hyundai and Kia together, they are a great car company. You know, in the past, my friend bought a Hyundai. It was like the worst car, the cheapest car you could buy. This is like decades and decades and decades ago. But today, they are really high quality. I started to really follow them a little bit more or pay attention to them because when I interviewed Corey Steuben, when he was working with Monroe and Associates, he said that Hyundai Kia, they are the next, when they tear down cars, they are very high quality. They're really good cars. So they are next to Tesla. When I asked them that question, who has the greatest quality, it is Hyundai Kia. So this doesn't surprise me that eventually these guys will, make their way up, and they seem to be following along quite nicely. So yeah, I would expect them to continue and actually become number 2. That's if the Chinese don't come in and are prevented from coming in with tariffs.
Well, and we will get to that for sure. And for those who don't know, Hyundai and Kia, while closely affiliated, they're definitely separate companies, as you can tell by their headquarters, which look so different and share the same driveway. I mean, look at the building. It says Hyundai and Kia. That's clearly 2 different names, but they are that closely tied. So when you look at Hyundai versus Kia EV, you'll see that these are the same car.
If you actually add up both the Hyundai sales and the Kia sales, you'll see that they are number 2 in the US.
Yes. The only uh, there's rumor that there are those who want China tariffs.
Mhm.
Well, China tariffs are already doubled, but there are people who are saying even if China builds in Mexico, we don't want them here. I don't
Mhm.
know a legal framework in which to make that happen, but we've got this Kia to invest over 200 million in
Mhm.
EV9 production expansion. They're going to be building this car here. That $30,000 car is about to drop to 22.5 because they will, if they're making the batteries here as well, which is the plan, that would make this car entirely eligible for the IRA credits. $22,500. And it might not be, it might be 25 or 26, but even at that price, they're going to have a compelling car in the market. That's crazy. And the
Mhm.
best part is, unlike a lot of these plans where we see delay after delay and then scaling back, Kia has changed their deadline forward by 1 year.
Mhm.
So there are, and I don't know if it's this, if the Kia and the Hyundai plant are a shared facility. I imagine they are. I heard a story on the radio a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Employees are already there. They've already been hired. They're already learning how to stitch seats and put
Mhm.
things together. So this is happening, and it's happening real fast. So this is something to look out for if you're a U.S. auto manufacturer. And we do see the K5 midsize sedan coming soon, the all electric EV9 in 2024. So that means they could have that plant operational this year,
Wow.
which would fit with the fact that they've already got employees training on how to build things. Um, so do you see Kia, Hyundai Kia taking a strong second place
Oh, for
over
sure. Yeah.
Ford and GM?
Yeah, I mean, like you just said, you just pointed out, they're building factories. They're here, and they've gone all. They you got to make the bet on electric vehicles, and when you start seeing success like that, and their cars are being well received, good quality, they'll just they'll keep moving forward. And I think that this is up for their taking. If the Chinese can't get in here, they've got that headroom, to be able to take over.
That is exactly right. I think even if China decides, even if a Chinese company decides to build a factory in Mexico or
Hmm.
Tennessee, it's going to take them at least 1 to 3 years to get it up
3 years.
and running.
Yep.
Well, it depends on. It wouldn't be because of China. It would be because of local permits or whatever. It'd be because of the nonsense. Uh, and then but they'd still need their batteries. They'd still need all their everything. But there are no plans on the books. There are no permits that have been applied for. And I don't think we will see any of them until after the election. And depending what happens in the election, maybe not even then.
Right.
But if China decides they're going to jump, they're not going to have any production before this factory is online and running. And there is a first mover advantage. And although Tesla would be a more accurate first mover, I guess Rivian or Lucid, but Rivian and Lucid make niche cars that are not for everyone, where Kia is trying to make the everyman's car. And there are people who, for one reason or another, just don't like Tesla. They want
Yeah.
something that isn't Tesla. And maybe they want something, if you're in the Bay Area, you want something that is unique enough that you can find it in a parking lot without having to open the app because there's 5,000 Teslas out here and only one of them's mine.
That's not the reason, but okay.
That's not. But there are people who just like something different. I just want something different. And a new model from a manufacturer that isn't as common can satisfy that need. And the lower price can do it too.
Hmm.
So the idea that I have fortunately been seeing very few people calling EVs a rich man's toy anymore.
Oh,
I don't think that perception
no.
is very wise.
Hmm.
My friend Chris, who's visiting, just in March purchased a Hertz Model 3 for
Hmm?
I
A
think
what? Oh,
19
Hertz
a Her-
version of a Model 3. Okay, gotcha.
yes, a
Okay.
Hertz return Model 3, and I
Yeah.
think he paid like 19.5 for it, and
Mm-hmm.
he got the used car incentive on top of it. So
Wow.
what a steal. What a
Yeah.
steal. And you know, that's a good way to do it. So, yeah, I guess my question in the comments is, do you guys think Hyundai and Kia, or both or either, are going to be number two in the US market? Do you think that pricing is going to hold? Is it actually going to be that affordable in North America? And then I guess my neighbors to the north, I would ask, do you think you're going to get it? Because I think you
Mm,
will. I think it's going
mm.
to absolutely cross the border with a ton of North America sourced parts and materials. So, what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? All that good stuff. Let me know in them comments. I beg of you. Do me a favor. Head on over to Brighter with Herbert. Get a little brighter. My viewers, the comments I get overwhelmingly reflect a brightness, and I attribute that to you and I doing our
It's,
job correctly.
it's you.
Uh, it's
It's you.
it's yes, it's me and my wise selection of guests. It's all of us. It's a team effort, and I thank you. So, yeah, guys, like, subscribe, do the usual. You know what you got to do. If you're feeling a good mood this week, wouldn't hurt you. Maybe chip me in a buck or two. It's how the channel stays operational. This is my full time job. Links are in the description for methods to support, and I appreciate it. But I appreciate you being here. Either way, I just appreciate it. So stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you, clever robots, on the flippity flop.